You just met someone. The conversation was fine, but you walked away thinking, they probably hated me. Meanwhile, they left thinking, that was great. I hope we hang out again. If this sounds familiar, if this happens to you constantly, you need to hear this. It's called a liking gap, and it's a lie your brain tells you that might be destroying your social life. Cornell and Harvard researchers did something really simple. They had strangers meet for the first time and just have a conversation. Afterward, they asked each person 2 questions. How much did you like them? And how much do you think they liked you? The results were shocking. Almost everyone, in nearly every conversation, significantly underestimated how much the other person liked them. Think about that. Both people in the chat were convinced the other person liked them less than they actually did. This is the liking gap. After almost any social interaction, you systematically underestimate how much other people enjoyed talking to you. And guess what? They're doing the exact same thing about you. Here's why this happens. During a conversation, your brain is running 2 simultaneous tracks. The first track is what you're actually saying to the other person. The second track is a brutal, running commentary inside your own head, criticizing everything you say and do. Why did I say that? That joke didn't land. Oh, that was an awkward pause. You remember this internal criticism far more than the actual conversation. The other person, they don't remember any of your supposed mistakes. They were too busy listening to their own internal critic. And this isn't just about first impressions. The research found that the liking gap persists even after years. They tested people who'd been friends for a long time, and both friends still underestimated how much the other one liked them. This is a permanent feature of our social psychology. Now, here's why this is so cruel. You're avoiding reaching out to people who genuinely want to hear from you, because you've convinced yourself they do unlike you. You are rejecting yourself on their behalf. They never rejected you. Your brain just did it for them. Studies show that when you think a conversation went okay, the other person usually thinks it went great. When you think it went badly, they probably thought it went okay. Your internal experience is consistently more negative than reality. The liking gap gets even stronger in certain situations, when you're anxious or introverted, when it's a first meeting, when you really care about making a good impression, when you're talking to someone you admire or find attractive. Basically, the more a conversation matters to you, the more your brain lies to you about how it went. And here's where it gets manipulative. Toxic people can exploit this. They can sense when you have a strong liking gap. They'll confirm your fears by saying things like, yeah, people don't really get you. They know you're already primed to believe it. Then, they position themselves as the one special person who truly understands you, creating a toxic dependency. Salespeople use this too. They might act a little distant or uncertain after a really good conversation. Why? Because they know your liking gap will make you assume it went badly. You'll leave thinking you messed it up. Then, when you follow up, desperately trying to fix it, they have all the power. You're negotiating from a position of perceived rejection that never even existed. Dating is an absolute nightmare because of the liking gap. Picture this. 2 people go on a date. They both have a good time, but they both leave thinking, I screwed that up. They're not interested. So what happens? Neither person follows up. Both are waiting for the other to reach out, and neither does, because both assume they were rejected. Research shows that a huge number of potentially great relationships die. Right there, simply because both people were wrong about what the other was thinking. In one study, researchers had people on first dates rate how much they liked the other person, and how much they thought the other person liked them. In 95% of cases, both people liked each other more than they thought they were liked. They were both wrong, in the exact same direction. Social media has made this a million times worse. You post something personal, you pour your heart out, and you get fewer likes or comments than you expected. You immediately conclude that people aren't interested, or that they don't care. Meanwhile, dozens of people saw your post, appreciated it, maybe even thought that's so true, and then just kept scrolling. They forgot to hit the like button. You've interpreted their silence as rejection, but the silence meant absolutely nothing. This manipulation happens in the corporate world. 2. A manager might stay silent after you give a big presentation. They know your liking gap will kick in, making you doubt yourself and undervalue your own work. Later, when it's time for a salary negotiation, you're already convinced you aren't that valuable, so you ask for less. Your manager didn't have to criticize you. Your own brain did the work for them. The worst part is that trying to compensate for the liking gap often backfires. You walk away from a conversation thinking, they didn't like me, so I need to try harder next time. Then, the next time you see them, you're overeager. You try too hard, and that behavior actually is a little off. You've created the very rejection that you were afraid of in the first place. So what's the fix? The research shows it's counterintuitive. You have to assume people like you more than you think. Not because it's guaranteed to be true every single time, but because your brain is systematically, reliably biased toward underestimating it. Your default setting is wrong. So, when your brain says, they probably hated that, the more accurate interpretation is, they probably thought it was fine, or even good. But there's also a dark wisdom to the liking gap. It exists because we have access to information that other people don't. Our own internal experience. We know when we're faking interests. We know when we're secretly bored. We know when we're just being polite instead of genuinely engaged. And so, we assume that other people are doing the same thing to us. Maybe the liking gap isn't just a bug. Maybe it's your brain's cynical way of saying, you know how often you're fake nice to people? Well, assume they're doing the same thing to you. So, that person you think doesn't like you, they're probably sitting there right now, thinking the exact same thing about you. And chances are, both of you are completely wrong. Subscribe for more ways your brain might be sabotaging you. And do me a favor. Reach out to someone you've been avoiding. They probably miss you more than you think. Thanks for watching.